I mentioned in the last segment the name Kevin McCarthy. There is an unbelievable situation going on with Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy is the House Minority Leader. He's a Republican. Republicans are in the minority for now in the House, and Kevin McCarthy is their leader. Now, it wouldn't be shocking, because of what we know, that people like Liz Cheney in the aftermath of the January 6th riots were talking about, can we invoke the 25th Amendment to remove Donald Trump? Should we demand that Donald Trump resign? That's Liz Cheney. We know she doesn't like Trump. But Kevin McCarthy is a guy who is the uber Trump loyalist. And reports started coming out last week from the New York Times that Republican House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy was going around in the aftermath of the Trump riots saying Trump should resign. Trump should resign. In response to that report by the New York Times, McCarthy denied the entire thing. And this is such a brilliant series of events. So New York Times reports it. McCarthy denies it. He puts out a statement saying, the New York Times reporting on me is totally false and wrong. It comes as no surprise that the corporate media is obsessed with doing everything it can to further a liberal agenda. This promotional book tour is no different. If the reporters were interested in truth, why would they ask for comment after the book was printed? The past year and a half have proven that our country was better off when Trump was in the White House, and rather than address the real issues facing Americans, the corporate media is more concerned with profiting from manufactured political intrigue from politically motivated sources. So he denies that he ever said, we gotta look at Trump resigning. And then Rachel Maddow got the video, the audio, I guess I should better say. After Kevin McCarthy said, oh no, I never said anything about Trump should resign, audio of Liz Cheney speaking to Kevin McCarthy given to Rachel Maddow on MSNBC proves it is all true. Listen to this conversation.
I'm here. Thanks, Kevin. I guess there's a question when we were talking about the 25th Amendment resolution. And you asked if what happens if it gets there after he's gone. Is there any chance? Are you hearing that he might resign? Is there any reason to think that might happen?
I've had some few discussions. My gut tells me no. I'm seriously thinking of having that conversation with him tonight.
Okay, that's Kevin McCarthy saying, I'm thinking about talking to Trump about resigning tonight. He denied that this ever happened. Here it is on tape.
I talked to him in a couple days. From what I know of him, I mean, you guys all know him too. Do you think he'd ever back away? But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to call him. This is what I think. No, it'll pass the House. I think there's a chance it'll pass the Senate even when he's gone. And I think there's a lot of different ramifications for that. Now, I haven't had a discussion with the Dems that if he did resign, would it not happen?
So what I'm understanding this is initially they were talking about the 25th Amendment, but that's something the cabinet does. My understanding is now McCarthy is saying, if he were to resign, would Democrats agree not to impeach? That's my understanding of this part.
Now, this is one personal fear I have. I do not want to get into any conversations about him parting, anything like that. I mean, the only discussion I would have with him is that I think this will pass, and it would be my recommendation he should resign.
It would be my recommendation that he should resign. So just caught. McCarthy was lying. He said, I never talked to Trump about that. But no, I'm sorry. He said, I never said I was going to talk to Trump about that. I never said he should resign. And there he is on the recording saying, I think he should resign. The reporters have even more. Check out this piece of an interview from the Rachel Maddow show.
So just to underscore this, just to be clear, Mr. McCarthy and his office have denied that he said he was going to call Trump and tell him to resign. You have it on tape. We just heard that he in fact said that. He has also today denied that he called for members of his own caucus, other House Republicans, to have their social media access cut off. You've also got that on tape.
That's correct. And we have a lot more on tape from this period, which is at the highest levels of American politics. It is sensitive, it's delicate, and it's high stakes. And we have it all on tape. And it's going to, I think, tell a very different story about this period than the story that many people are trying to tell right now.
There's another recording that they have where McCarthy says, "I've had it with this guy," speaking about Trump.
All right, I know this is not fun. I know this is not great. I know this is very tough. But what I want to do, especially through here, is I don't want to rush things. I want everybody to have all the information needed. I've had it with this guy. What he did is unacceptable. Nobody can defend that, and nobody should defend it.
Okay.
So that's pretty remarkable stuff. Now, eventually, after all of the claims that Kevin McCarthy made about the New York Times article were refuted by audio, reporters finally got to McCarthy and they said, okay, so like they got you, right? And McCarthy shifts the goalposts and he does it pretty smoothly. See if you can pick it up.
Congressman, have you spoken with President Trump recently? Did you speak with him last night?
I know. I spoke to him twice today. I just spoke to him an hour ago.
How was your conversation? Did you talk to him about the New York Times report and the conversation you had about potentially asking him to resign?
Because the conversation here is what they said we did, we never did. I mean, I never asked President Trump to resign. We both talked about that.
So this is the key point. We don't even need to watch the rest of the video. McCarthy goes, "I never asked Trump to resign." Now, that may well be true. But the claim initially was McCarthy said Trump should resign, and McCarthy denied it. And he's on audio saying Trump should resign. McCarthy wants to say something different, which is, I never asked Trump to resign. That's not what he originally denied. Now, does this make Republicans look better or worse? One perspective is this makes Republicans look better. They're not that crazy. They saw how bad Trump was and they wanted him to resign. I say this makes them look worse because what I understand is they saw how bad Trump was and privately they knew that this guy had to go and he was a danger. But publicly, they insisted everything's fine. Trump's great. He's the greatest president. We support him. They publicly supported a guy that they knew was bad for the country merely for their own political benefit. So I believe this makes them look worse. Now, last thing, it's great that this is coming out and everything, but why did it take a year for this stuff to come out? As usual, it's the authors holding stuff in order to sell books. And I understand why they're doing it. I understand the financial incentive, but for the country, it would have been much better if these tapes came out in real time. These conversations, some of them happened on January 10th. I'm not saying that if they came out on January 10th, maybe the reporters didn't have them on January 10th. But if instead of a year later or more, we knew in the moment that Republicans were saying Trump should resign, it actually might have pushed him to resign. I'm not saying it would have, but it would have at least have had a shot. And now it's 15 months later, 16 months later, and we're learning about it now. That's not new. That's how the business works. Incredible stuff about Kevin McCarthy. And what else will we find out in the next week? Send me your thoughts. Find me on Twitter at @dpacman. One of our sponsors is Athletic Greens, which just makes it really easy for me to get the vitamins and minerals that I want every day. I don't always have time to get exactly what I want from the foods I'm eating, but that's why Athletic Greens AG1 is so great. It's a solution that gives you everything in one scoop, and you get 75 high quality vitamins and minerals as well as probiotics. So it supports gut health. It is one of the great sort of add-ons to having proper balanced nutrition. Athletic Greens AG1 has become a regular part of my day. I'll put it in a smoothie. It tastes great. Sometimes I'll just drink it by itself. And it's been a really great and convenient way to get everything I would get from a multivitamin and minerals and probiotics that I might otherwise take separately. Athletic Greens is giving my audience a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase when you go to athleticgreens.com/Pacman. The link is down below.